at one time in college. Drunken parties and spring break at the beach. Unless you were from an Arctic circle like me, where water exists on a solid state. Let's see if our next speaker's experiences were just as exciting as yours. This is a speech from a storytelling manual, and the title is Big Man on Campus. Help me welcome David Kohls.
Did you like college? Did you have fun in college? Were you the big man on campus? Were you the best athlete? I wasn't. Were you the best scholar? I did earn a partial academic scholarship, but I wasn't by far. Were you the most popular with the ladies or gentlemen? Statistics sadly indicate that I was not that either. And yet, I did a small thing when I was in school that may have had something of a big influence. And that's what I'm going to talk about this evening. I'm going to tell you a story, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests, about my time in college, a small school in Pennsylvania, Lafayette College. That was where I did my undergraduate studies. As I mentioned earlier, I earned a partial academic scholarship. So I had to do two things to keep that scholarship and stay in school. One was study, keep up my grades, and the other one was supply the rest of the money. Well, I'm kind of a nerd, so keeping up the grades was not really a challenge. The money was a problem. I found the French solution, le part-time job. Not one, not two, but three part-time jobs, to be specific. The first one was that I was on the wait staff in the cafeteria. In the wait staff, you set up the tables before the meals, and you wait on the cook to have the first course ready, while the people out there become rather strident if he's running late. Then you carry out your trays, and you deliver the dishes. One course at a time. The wait staff has to do the work up till the time that the dessert has been served, at which point the cleanup staff takes over from there. I needed my tables to run on time because my second part-time job was waiting just after my first one was scheduled to end. If we ran late, I had to run down the hill into town, which could be hazardous when there was ice in the winter, to get to my second glorious job, McDonald's. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I was the grill cook, flipping the burgers. That's what I did from 7 to 11, Monday through Friday, every day of the week. That was a great job. If you like grease, and a smelly kitchen, and heat, and some degree of humiliation wearing that striped shirt. But it was steady work, so I can't complain. Monday through Friday. Saturdays. Now, Saturdays were different. Saturday morning, I would get up early, and I would pull on my polyester pants. I would button down my polyester shirt. I would carefully knot my polyester tie and then slip into my, perhaps not so svelte, polyester jacket. Then I would walk down the hill to the bus station, where with a textbook in hand, because I had to get my studies done, I would wait there with the drunks and derelicts, who were the only other people in the bus station early on a Saturday morning. And then I would ride the bus for 12 miles from that city, Eastern Pennsylvania, to Bethlehem, where the bus drivers were usually kind enough to give me an illegal stop at the corner of Washington and Center Street, and saving me 10 minutes walking back to my parents' house. There I could borrow the family car and arrive just in time for my third part-time job at Union Bank. At Union Bank, I was a bank teller. I was really fast counting the money. The merchants make a lot of coin, and cash of course, on Friday nights. Then they bring it into the bank to do their Saturday morning deposits. And the best thing of all is the coin machine. Because you put the coins in, and banks are really quiet, somber places. You're supposed to be a serious person if you're in bank. You're not allowed to be boisterous and make noise, but you have to use the coin machine. And it goes, so I was really good. I could put the coins in while counting. By 1 p.m., I had tallied my books, and I was done. And now, my friends, it's time for Terry. Yes, you're right. The story is about to get good. This is the good stuff. May not be what you're thinking about, though. I was a Big Brother volunteer, and Terry was an 11-year-old from a family that was having a difficult divorce. And I'd been asked to work with him because he was having trouble in school and juvenile delinquency problems. So every Saturday, I would spend my time with Terry. Basically, we'd walk through his routine. He'd show me his best places to play, swinging on the tire swing, riding his bike around the mobile home park, a completely different life than I had experienced. But it was really weird. I knew nothing about psychology. I knew nothing about how to encourage a kid other than to be a nerd. Do your homework. Make sure you do well on that test. Pay attention in school. Don't get into trouble. Real nerdy stuff. But because I was there and I showed up, he tolerated that square part of my personality and actually listened, and his grades rapidly improved. Everybody said he did a lot better. So after that was done, I returned to college life, and I was at this school, 2,500 students, 19 active fraternities, and 2 social dormitories with a different party serving beer, yes, I know, every night. So there was a lot of problem to do other things than be a nerd or have interests such as I did. But when I look back on my time in school, what's the thing that stands out? It's hanging out with an 11-year-old kid and hoping that it made a difference. And they told me that it really did. In this Toastmasters club, we have a person who's an active Big Brother volunteer, just as I was. He's not here today. We have another person who helps build young lives, actually 2. And they're doing important things with youth. And we have one stellar member who's been teaching music to students who just gave a wonderful speech. To me, these are the really big men or women